Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhiraye. Nastapayeshu Bhaveshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiti. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 3, Chapter 9, Brahma Prayers for Creative Energy. From text 34. Since you have desired to increase the population innumerably and expand your varieties of service, you shall never be disproved in this matter, because my causeless mercy upon you will always increase for all times. Text 35. You are the original Rishi, and because your mind is always fixed on me, even though you will be engaged in generating the various progencies, the vigorous modes of passions will never encroach upon you. Text 36. Although I am not easily knowable by the conditional soul, you have known me today because you know that my personality is not constituted of anything material and specifically not of the five gross and three substantial elements. Text 37. When you were contemplating whether there was a source to the stem of the lotus of your birth, and you even entered into that stem, you could not trace out anything, but at that time I manifested my form from within. Text 38. O Brahma, the prayers that you have chanted praising the glories of my transcendental activities, the penance you have undertaken to understand me, and your firm faith in me, all these are to be considered my causeless mercies. Text 39. I am very much pleased by your description of me in terms of my transcendental qualities, which appear mundane to the mundaners. I grant you all benedictions in your desire to glorify all the planets by your activities. Text 40th. Any human being who prays like Brahma and who thus worship me shall very soon be blessed with the fulfillment of all his desires, for I am the Lord of all benedictions. Text 41. It is the opinion of expert transcendentalists that the ultimate goal of performing all traditional good works, penance, sacrifice, charities, mystic activities, trance, etc., is to invoke my satisfaction. Text 42. I am the super soul of every individual. I am the supreme director and the dearest. People are wrongly attached to the gross and substantial bodies, but they should be attached to me only. Text 43. By following my instructions, you can now generate the living entities as before by dint of your complete Vedic wisdom and the body you have directly received from me, the supreme cause of everything. Text 44. The sage Maitreya said, after instructing Brahma, the creator of the universe, to expand the primeval Lord and the personality of Godhead in his personal form has Narayan disappeared. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of third canto, ninth chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Brahma's Prayers of Creative Energy. Thank you so much to all devotees. Himanshu Prabhuji, whenever you are ready, please take over the call, Prabhuji.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotee. Mataji, if you can go back to the 34th verse, and keep sharing your screen if you don't mind.
Sure.
Hare Krishna, dear devotee, let me invoke the prayers. Om Ajnana Trimandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Bhadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavati Prashati Deshatarani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you, devotees. Dear devotees, for joining this call. And today we are and thanks Mataji for reading the translations today. Today we are going to cover Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9th, Brahma's prayers for creative energy. The last section we are gonna cover from verse 34 to verse 44. But I just want to give a quick glance what we have discussed so far in last two classes, so that if any devotee joined today, so he will not feel disconnected. So in this chapter, Brahmaji, for first few verses, Brahmaji was glorifying the Lord Supreme form with the beautiful prayers, and then afterwards he highlighted some misfortunes of the conditioned soul, why conditioned soul is not taking the shelter of the Supreme Lord. And then it's also described about how Lord is reciprocate with the demigods versus devotees and non-devotees. So Lord, different reciprocations with different categories of devotees and non-devotees. And then how devotees see the lotus form of the Lord, from his ears. So that is also described here. And then later, Brahmaji has requested how he can he has a desire to do the creation under the mode of passion, and how can he do the creation to fulfill his desire. And then he should not be impacted from the false ego, how he can be protected. So in the last 3-4 verses, Lord got, reciprocated himself in front of Brahmaji, and he started speaking. He's talking to Brahmaji. And Lord mentioned to Brahmaji, whatever you are desiring, I have already granted you because of your severe penances and austerity out of the devotion service. And I'm pleased with the devotion service. That's why I'm granting you all those penances, what you are requesting me. So that nothing is, then you will be protected from my subordinate, which is Maya Shakti. You will not be under the influence of that. So you can, freely do the creation. And then yesterday, Sri Krishna Prabhuji has explained wonderfully, how Lord explained Brahmaji. If you are in the complete absorbed in the devotional service, then you will start seeing me in all things, like either in yourself, even though you do the creation, you will see me in yourself, in all the living being, and in all these planets, whatever you're going to create, you will see me, you will find me, because you are out of the bodily platform, material platform, gross platform. So you will out of the illusion, and I'm protecting you. I'm your protector. So in the today's verses from 34 to 40, we will hear how Lord's mercy and benediction towards Brahmaji. In the text 34, since it's mentioned, since you have desire to increase the population. So here Lord is saying, now Brahmaji, as you have desire to increase, that's your inner desire, that you want to increase the population and to fill and create different planets and different variety of service you want to offer. And my causeless mercy is with you. That means Mad Anugraha means causeless mercy is with you, so that you will able to do that execution successfully. There will not be any problem in that. So we need to, how can we relate? Because Brahma has done the pure devotional service with a lot of penances and austerity, and then he was able to successfully, because he was able to please the Lord successfully with his pious, prayers. He glorified the Lord, glorified the activity of the Lord, transcendental qualities of the Lord, and he was out of devotion. He did a lot of austerity for a long period of time. So Lord become pleased with his service, and then Lord has shown the causeless mercy to grant whatever he want to do. So similarly, as we are a devotee, as a practicing devotees, we are in the preaching movement, in ISKCON preaching movement, where we are devotional and preaching movement. So a materialistic can think, like, as devotees are trying to do several activity for preaching movement, inviting the other devotees, inviting the non-devotees, do the book distribution, inviting for the home program, or there are a lot of other activity. So any mundane person can think of, okay, maybe, oh, they are trying to run their own business, they're trying to increase the population, their congregational capacity, they're trying to invite more and more people. And if a person who is in a political leader or any business company person, he can also think, oh, they are doing a similar task what we used to do. We are also trying to increase our political party. But there is a significant difference between both the activity. The devotee, what he's trying to connect a fallen soul to Krishna. And he's trying to all his activity of devotee is on a spiritual platform, while activity of a mundane person or materialistic person is on a materialistic platform. So it's a significant difference between both the activity. So what I meant with this example, because if we are trying to do any kind of devotional service in this way, what we are trying to do, we are trying to connect fallen souls to the Lord. We are pleasing the Lord with this service, and so Lord will help us to grow more and more further in our bhakti process. Similarly, like Prabhupada has mentioned in the purport, how Arjuna do not want to fight, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, but he did fight for the pleasure of Krishna. So both Arjuna and Duryodhana was fighting, but Arjuna was fighting for the pleasure of Krishna, while Duryodhana was fighting for the pleasure of himself. He want for his own satisfaction. So Arjuna act is under the pure devotion, while Duryodhana act was not under the devotional. It's not a devotional activity. So in text 35, Lord is further saying, my causeless mercy will increase over the time. It will increase over the time because you are the original Rishi. Here Lord is saying Brahmaji as a Rishi because he did the severe penances. Because you now realize yourself, you realize your true identity, that you are part and parcel of me. You are my son. And your mind is fixed on my service. So because now your mind is fixed on my service, even though you will engage in all this materialistic activity to create the living being, that is another service for a lot, and different planet. Right? Because with that service, you are giving an opportunity to the fallen soul, one more opportunity, so that they can come back to me. So creation, because as we know, creation always happen in the mode of passion, and then Brahmaji will be doing that activity, but he will not be influenced by the modes of the passion, modes of material nature, because Lord will protect his pure devotee. And then I think if I'll go further in the purport, so what Prabhupada has mentioned, because Lord was pleased with the Brahmaji penances and austerity for his devotion towards him. So he blessed Brahmaji to be able to fulfill all his desire and able to perform all those activity what he's desired to do for creation process. So we should always understand, if as we do increase our sadhana. So we Prabhupada, we are so fortunate that Prabhupada has provided us all different sadhanas, different process to do the bhakti process. We have a chanting, hearing, association, temple service. There are many services what we have, book distribution, preaching. But what is the unfortunate reality is we are lack of having a sadhak, pure sadhak, who can perform these services on a consistent manner, on a progressive manner. So we should always do there two aspects. We should do the sadhana, and also we should do the service. When we do the sadhana will increase our devotional potency, and when our devotional potency get increased, and which in turn increase our desire to serve the Lord in different Krishna conscious activity. So we should understand that reality. And in text 36, Lord is saying, although I am not easily known to all these conditional soul, but you know me because now you are in the pure platform. because you know that my personality is not material, it's all spiritual. There is my personality, my form, my whatever form I have, it is out of the materialistic matter, and it is out of the gross and subtle matters, basically. So real spiritual conception is that spiritual form is not material. That's what Prabhupada has mentioned in the purport for this. And Lord has approved the Brahma's spiritual conception. Whatever Brahmaji realized that Lord form is spiritual, it's out of gross and subtle elements, and Lord has approved Brahmaji's conception of spiritual understanding of Lord form. In text 37, Lord further said, when you were contemplating on me, when you're contemplating that what is my origin, and you try to get into the stem of the lotus of your birth, but you entered there, but you could not realize anything at that time, because no one can identify or realize, no one can have a realization of me, if with their mental speculation and the bodily efforts, they cannot, or physical effort, they can't do that unless they can only realize my form with the devotional service. So here Lord mentioned, but at the time I manifested my form from within. So Prabhupada has mentioned material eyes can't see the Lord. He can only be seen with the spiritual visions. And Brahmaji personal endeavor here, whatever he did to see the root of the lotus pipe, was failed, because Lord was not satisfied by that time. When he realized he did not find anything, then he went up to the stem in the lotus flower, and he started doing the penances and austerity, and that severe penances and austerity out of devotion. And when he did that penances and austerity out of devotion, then Lord become pleased. And when Lord become pleased, then he reciprocate his form in front of Brahmaji. So for practicing devotee, our goal should be not to understand, not to speculate anything about the Lord form, not to understand from our mental speculation or from our physical strength. We should think, oh, Lord form will be like that, Lord form will be like that. We should perform the devotional service given by the process, which is very beautiful, given by our acharyas, Prabhupada, Guru Parampara. We need to follow that process. We need to do all the bhakti process, follow all the angas of bhakti, and then definitely one day we will able to, as we become pure and pure, we will able to, realize we could have the realization of the Lord spiritual form. And no need to do any external endeavor. In text 38, further, Lord is saying, "O Brahma, prayers that you have chanted, praising the glory of my transcendental activity, and the penances you have undertaken to understand me, and your firm faith in me." So here, Lord is saying, you have, Brahmaji, you have glorified my prayers. You have glorified my transcendental activities. You have glorified, you have done severe austerity to understand me, and you have firm faith in me. These all the consideration of my Mad Anugraha, my causeless mercy. Because I am pleased with your service, your severe penances, that's why you have all my mercy with you. Now you can do all your desire, you can fulfill all your desire to do the creation. That is again whatever you are planning to do, to create different planets and different living beings. That is again you are trying to serve me, to make me happy, so that I can, you are giving an opportunity to the fallen soul to they can come back to me. So here in Prabhupada mentioned that Krishna is pleased with the Brahma prayer and devotion, and so that's why he revealed himself to Brahmaji. And we should understand that spiritual perfection is not an outcome of a material qualification. As you have seen, like Prabhupada mentioned in many purport, that impersonalist Brahman, or even a scholar, philosopher, they might have read the Vedas, and they are, completely, Jnani of the Vedas. But still, if they don't have a realization of a Supreme Lord, then all their studies doesn't worth. So So is spiritual perfection, we need to understand, is or not an outcome of a material qualification or physical endeavor. But it can be outcome of a sincere austerity out of devotion or sincere devotional service, and that under the Guru Parampara. And whatever we are doing the devotional service, we need to follow the instruction of our spiritual master, which is a bona fide spiritual master. And what Prabhupada further mentioned, by the mercy of the Lord, even a layman can compose prayers with the highest spiritual realization. Even a poet who is a very renowned poet, a materialistic poet, but and he is writing a very good poem for Lord glorification, but because there is no devotion, tinge of devotion service in his in his realization, whatever prayers he is writing, the intent is different. So then Lord will not be pleased with that such kind of prayer, but Lord will only be happy with the prayers like a Brahma for any layman, but who has a desire to please Lord, who has a right intention, who has a devotional service involved there. So in the next verse, text 39, Lord further says, Lord glorified Brahmaji's prayer. I am very much pleased by your description of me in terms of my transcendental qualities, and which appear. So whatever transcendental qualities you have glorified out of your prayers, it can be, mundanes for mundaner. They may not understand because they are not in the spiritual platform. They are still in the material platform. But I grant you all the benediction so that you desire to glorify all the planets by your activity, so that you can be glorified. Whatever activity you're going to perform, I'm granting first of all your desire, that you can able to successfully create the different planets and different living beings according to their modes. You can fill all different planets, and also you will get glorified with that activity, whatever you'll do. So I'm granting you that benediction. So there are two keywords Prabhupada has highlighted, are highlights of this verse: Gunamayam and Nirgunam. Gunamayam means full of transcendental qualities. So Brahmaji has realized and highlighted all the transcendental qualities of the Lord in his prayers, and Nirgunam means free from all material qualities. As Lord qualities are free from all the material qualities, it's all spiritual, all transcendental. So in the purport, Prabhupada has explained pure devotee who belongs to the either pure devotee like Brahma or pure devotee who belongs to the disciple succession of the Brahmas, as we belongs to that Brahma. Always, he has always desire to describe the glory of the Lord by his service. Either he is doing the preaching activity, he's discussing the pastime of the Lord or glorifying the Lord activities, pastimes, or he is doing the chanting process, hearing process, he is glorifying the Lord form, or he's offering the prasadam. With any of the activity, pure devotee will always try to desire to glorify the Lord or participate in the devotional service, so that, or by preaching process or book distribution, so that Lord can be known by other living entities, so that he can get an opportunity to connect other living entity with the Lord in some way or another way. So that entire universe, the devotee's intense desire is always to connect all non-devotees, all other materialistic folks, so that they can connect them to the parampara by all this preaching movement, all these different devotional service. That is the real intention of the devotee, so that with all his activity 24/7, he can please the Lord with his service. Either it could be a direct service to the Lord, or it could be indirect service by bringing new devotees to the Lord. And Lord will be always pleased by such activity of devotee, and he will bless such devotee so that their sincere effort can be fruitful. But impersonalists, Prabhupada mentioned later that impersonalists may be, trying to glorify the Lord and think of as the Lord is an embodiment of the mode of goodness, material goodness. But by such prayers, Lord will not be happy or satisfied, because Lord transcendental qualities are not glorified. If Lord qualities are not glorified, then Lord will not be happy for such prayers, like, where, because those impersonalist Brahman or they don't have a pure consciousness where they can understand the Lord spiritual form and understand the Lord pastimes and qualities. So that's why whatever prayers they are doing, it's all on the material platform, and Lord will not get satisfied with those prayers. And in Bhagavad Gita, when the Lord will be pleased with the devotee sincere effort. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord has mentioned several times that my devotee never perish, and and Lord take care of their devotee, very much, because they will be favorite to the Lord. Those devotees will be favorite to the Lord, where Lord is, pleased with their sincere effort. In text 40, Lord Garbhodakshay Vishnu again says, any human being who prays like a Brahma and who worship me like him shall very be soon blessed with fulfillment of all his desires. So again, Lord is confirming here, if any devotee will pray like a Brahma, or he is involved in a devotional service, sincere devotional service, and trying to please the Lord in all of his activity, and Lord can be whatever activity a person is doing, either he's cooking, or so if the Lord is a center of activity for a activity of a devotee, like even it's a normal household work like cooking process, cleaning, or office job, correct? If we are of center, is focus is Lord in all of our activity. Like if we are cooking, we are thinking, okay, what we are doing, cooking, we're cooking for Krishna. And if we are doing the cleaning, we're cleaning the house of the Krishna's house. We can consider our house as a temple, as a Krishna's temple. If we are working a job, whatever earning we are having, we can dedicate that earning, some portion of that earning, to the Krishna service in terms of books distribution, or some donation to the temple for maintenance of the temple. Whatever way we can help. So if all our activity of practicing devotee are centered around service to the Krishna, so we can consider this verse as Lord is saying it's a falashruti, because Lord is saying whoever will be serve me like that, like a Brahma, then all his desires will be fulfilled, and I will take care of personally for fulfilling those desires, because I am the Lord of all benediction. So now Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that not anyone or everyone can chant the prayers like a Brahma. Only the sincere devotee who are following all the regulative principle, and all following all the angas of bhakti sincerely or seriously, under the supreme guidance of their spiritual master, and they can control their senses. They will always work to satisfy the senses of Lord rather than a tinge of desire to satisfy their own senses. They could able to successfully glorify the Lord and Lord transcendental qualities, and render the transcendental service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Otherwise, not other casual devotees, can do those things. Even though Lord will not be pleased, even the casual devotee will try to offer best of his prayers. Lord will not be pleased, because they cannot understand the spiritual form of the Lord. They cannot understand the transcendental qualities of the Lord in the fullest. All whatever glorification they will do, non-casual devotees or casual devotee, it will be all on the materialistic platform, and Lord will not please. Lord may take care of those devotees as well, but not like other devotee who are very sincere or serious for the service of the Lord. Now in the text 41, Mataji, can you please scroll down? It is an opinion of an expert transcendentalist. So now what Lord is saying, that expert transcendentalist means the people who are skilled in the science of transcendental science of Krishna consciousness. So Lord is saying their opinion is that ultimate goal of performing all the activity, like whatever activity we do, like good work, sacrifice, penances, austerity, or nationalism, any work for nation, any work for any political, but whatever work we are doing, correct? It should be invoked. So what Lord is saying, transcendentalist expert transcendentalist opinion is that ultimate goal of performing any activity by anyone, any individual, is to invoke my satisfaction. If we are not invoking the Lord's satisfaction, so all our efforts are waste of a time. So here the keyword is nishreyasham and pumsham. Nishreyasham means ultimate benefit, and pumsham means of humankind. Mat priha means my satisfaction. So here Lord is saying, even expert transcendentalists are confirmed that for all humankind, human mankind, the ultimate benefit of all their activity is to dedicate all their effort for my satisfaction. And Prabhupada has related here that Arjuna, again in the battlefield, Arjuna did not want to fight because he loved his kinsman. He doesn't want to fight to his brothers, his guru, and his grandfather, and all other relatives, because he was thinking on a material platform at that time, and he was worried, like, for the piece of land or piece of the kingdom. Why should I kill my relatives? Why should I kill my relatives? And then there will be, he was thinking a lot on terms of material bodily platform, in the gross platform. But later on, when he understood, after hearing the Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna is a supreme being, and Krishna has already done that, already killed all of them. But being as Arjuna, because Arjuna is a true devotee, a true friend of the Krishna, that's why Krishna is, being a best friend of Arjuna, he's giving a devotee an opportunity that he can glorify devotee. But already he can be the instrument to do those activities. While Krishna has already done that, already killed all those and all those enemies, all those Kaurava, Krishna has already killed, but he is being nice to Arjuna because Krishna is always taking care of his devotee, that his devotee can be an instrument and he can get the glorification of, and he can get the credit of it. So even Arjuna doesn't want to fight, but he understood that Krishna wanted him to fight, and that's why he gave up his own satisfaction and he worked for the satisfaction of Krishna. So that is the right decision for any intelligent man. He needs to work for a satisfaction of the Lord. He should not work on his own satisfaction. He's always think for a satisfaction of the Lord. If one will not do that, all the activity, whatever time he's investing, Prabhupada has mentioned, it is just a waste of time. So text 42 is a very key word for today's discussion. And if you guys, if anyone will get a chance today, please read the purport, what has Prabhupada has given. Aham atma atmanam dahata preshtasan prayasham api atamai ratim kurat deha adhiyat krati priya. So here, Lord is saying, I am the super soul of every individual, because I am the director, and I am the well-wisher, and I am the dearest one. But still, I am the super soul, I am the supreme director of their activity, I am the dearest to everyone, and I am in the heart of everyone. But still, all these conditioned soul people are wrongly attached to the gross and subtle bodily relations. But they should be attached to me only. So Lord is saying, like, I am their super soul, I am in their heart, I'm directing their activity, I am their well-wisher, I am their benefactor, I am their dearest person, but still they are part and parcel of me, but still they are wrongly attached to different activity and different people in the bodily platform, while they should be attached to me. So we need to understand in the purport this verse in such way that we have two different kind of people. One is a conditioned soul, one is a liberated soul. So conditioned soul forget his true relationship with the Lord, because conditioned soul is always attached to the gross platform, and they are always entangled in the material bodily relationship, and they always run behind the different opulences to satisfy their own senses. While those people who are in the liberated platform, they recognize their true relationship with the Krishna. And for them, Lord is a dearmost object for them. And they want to dedicate all their activity. They want to invest their time to satisfy the senses of the Lord. And based on the degree of their realization, they develop the degree of the clarity in their relationship with the Lord. So here we can say, like Prabhupada has mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, he has given the reference 15.7, Mana Mama Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, that living entity is a part and parcel of the Supreme. So if living entity is a Atma, then Supreme is a Paramatma. If living entity is a Brahman, then Supreme Lord is a Param Brahman. So as soon as, so let's talk about the conditions. So let's take an example of, as a family member. A family member is, entangled to his son, is entangled to his wife, he's entangled to, attached to them only, all their material relationships, body relatives. But the same son of a father, if he's passed away, now that same body of the son, now there is no spiritual spark in that body. Now the same body will not be dearest to the father because the spiritual spark is not anymore. So eventually, being even we in the conditional platform, we are attached to the different conditioned soul, but we are eventually attached to the part and parcel of the Lord itself. Because why we are attached to the different we are different found of different places, nature, beauty, or conditioned soul, because everywhere everything is a Krishna's energy only, if we think in that way. Because if son's soul is passed away, then there is no spiritual spark. Now that body is not dear to the father, but body was dear to the father till the time spiritual spark was enlivened in that body. So directly they don't have the, because we are illusioned by the Maya, we don't have that direct understanding that even though we are loving the spiritual spark, part and parcel of the Lord itself, not a matter. But because of we are so unfortunate, because we are under the influence of the Maya, we don't understand that reality. So as we are more influenced by Maya, we will be more and more, away from the basic principle of love and understand the how to find the right activity for the service of the Lord. And we will always engage in the gross platform. So Prabhupada has further mentioned in the purport that Maya can only influence their part and parcel, but Maya can never be influenced the Supreme himself, the Paramatma. If one doesn't have a pure love for Supreme, then he will be entrapped with under the influence of Maya, and he will gonna love the part and parcel of the same, on the bodily platform. Part and parcel of the Supreme, the bodily platform. So, but definitely, but even though he's unfortunate, but he's still loving the, indirectly the Krishna's energy only. But because he is influenced by the Maya, he is not able to realize that fact. And Prabhupada has given a beautiful analogy here that eyes and sun have an intimate relationship, because I cannot see anything without the sunlight. But I cannot, if I doesn't understand the, if I doesn't have an affection or understanding of a sun, then I cannot open up in the glare of the sun rays. But at the same time, a bodily part connected to the eyes can get the warmth of the sun. But at the same time, if we think on that, because now we consider this eye as a non-devotee who doesn't understand. So now we can connect that example. If a devotee of a sun god, even he's in the earthly platform, he can realize the sun god even from his closed eyelid, because he is a devotee, he know what is the opulence of the sun god. He can realize that realization even is a closed eye. But eyes cannot. If we don't have any realization for sun, we can't open up our eyes. We don't have. So similar way, like this analogy is trying to connect with the non-devotee and devotee example. So what we should understand, devotional service by the devotee make him realize that understand the personality of Godhead. Even though Jnani, a great philosopher, cannot understand the spiritual form of the Lord, because they don't have a lack, because they don't have a pure devotional. They are lack of the pure devotional service. So you need to understand in all circumstances, one should try to develop a love of Godhead. that will solve all our, current problems. In the text 43, I think these are the concluding two verses where Lord is giving the final instruction. By following my instruction, Lord is saying, now you can generate all the living entity as before, and then because you have dint of your complete wisdom and the body you have directly received from me, so yours, and which is supreme cause of everything. So you will be successful because you have a complete Vedic wisdom, and you got that Vedic wisdom directly from me, which I am the supreme cause of everything. So there will not be any problem. Lord is again ensuring to Brahmaji that you will not be under the influence of the false ego. You will able to do all kind of generation activity under the mode of passion, but these modes will not gonna touch you. You will be pure there. And then later on in the text 44, the sage Maitreya said, after instructing Brahma, the creator of the universe, Lord disappeared in his personal form. And as Lord appeared in the personal form, and Lord disappeared in the personal form. So, and why Brahmaji can realize the personal form? Because he did the pure penances, pure devotional service, and Lord granted that blessing so that Brahmaji can see that form. That's how I would like to conclude. And if I have misspoken anything, please forgive me. Ganthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So much, Prabhuji, for very, very beautiful class.
Kripa Sindhu Devicha Patitanam Bhavani.
Let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the devotees. Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Thank you so much.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Himanshu Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you to all devotees for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.